Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawud from GMS Tampa Bay 07, coming at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Waharakah, Kadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for your Akim pushing this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth. Alright, the last little update on this here situation is going on with Syria, Russia, and America. Alright, well really it's America. Syria is really World War III is going on. You know, you got the proxies that's in the midst of it as well with Israel, Syria, and then you have the main powers. You have America and Russia. All right. So earlier today, I believe, well, it wasn't really earlier today, but I came across this article like really early off today. Nevertheless, but these things was going on where you had this so-called chemical attack over the weekend in Syria. All right, and you know, and like I brought out in another video about how Russia did their little investigation over there. You know, Russia was investigating and found out there was nothing over there that was, you know, no chemicals was found, no chemical traces were found on the ground, and none of the patients in none of the hospitals looked like they were suffering from any chemical attacks. You know, but nevertheless, you know, Russia was pretty much putting America out, talking about hey, look. They on their last little grip, you know, they about to, you know, fall, and they pulling every trick out the bag right now, you know, they doing whatever it takes to stay on top, you know, but they coming out with this more and more fake news and this propaganda, and we got to set the story straight because basically they the damn devil, you know, but nevertheless, you know, this is Donald Trump's his response to this, you know, this is how hot-headed and proudful this damn devil is, all right. In response to all this, this is what was going on with Donald Trump. It says nothing off the table in Syria. Trump promises decision on U.S. military actions within 48 hours, and we still in that time frame. And you know, he's also going through some. He's not, but his one of his top personnel or whatever just pretty much got raided in his office and stuff like that. I was listening to that news article just right before I did this here video. But you have all these things going on, shaking up with Donald Trump, you know. And so now all these calamities are starting to come upon not only America, but the top of their presidency and on down. You know, they got all these calamities going on left and right. They can't even see what's going on in front of them, all right? So it says U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he will decide on potential actions against Syria within 24 to 48 hours in response to reports on an alleged chemical attack in Douma, East Ghouta. All right, and when I woke up, I actually woke up to a different article about this where it was saying, what did it really say? It says basically they are going to retaliate, and you know it's going to be, you know, pretty much like how he was talking about North Korea is going to be fire and fury, that same tone, you know. But it says Trump promises a swift response in the heinous attack, saying that this is about humanity and it can't be allowed to happen, you know. And that would be from these damn devils talking about humanity. The one motherfucker that's blowing up the whole goddamn the whole planet Earth. The only people that's invading and bombing all these other countries got the nerve talking about, oh, this is a humanitarian problem. Well, what about your humanitarian crisis that you got going on here in America and with your commonwealths, your so-called territories like Puerto Rico? Why don't you go help those people over there first? Why don't you help the people here in America first before you go over there and try to help them people with they so-called chemical attacks? What about the people in Flint, Michigan who had a chemical attack done on them with their water supply? What about the rest of these Americans that's getting sprayed with chemical attacks from chemtrails? You're not going to do nothing about that, you know? What about all these kids that's getting vaccinated with these vaccines with a bunch of poison in it, huh? You're not going to do anything about those chemical attacks, those biological attacks. It says his statements echo earlier remarks by Defense Secretary James Mattis when asked by a reporter if the U.S. was considering military strikes against Syria. Mattis replied that he would not rule out anything right now. Okay, so they like, you know, are y'all going to respond with a military attack? And you know, James Mattis is like, well, we're not ruling none of that out, you know. Basically, he's having a poker face up, you know. On Sunday, Trump wrote on Twitter that there would be a big price to pay for alleged attacks, all right? And this is the hypocrisy of this, you know, and you look at, the least of them is going to draw them back out because I just did a video about this. I believe I put this video last week, maybe the week before that, about how Donald Trump's talking about they about to start downsizing their presence in Syria, you know. They basically got ISIS defeated. and so on and so forth. Like, but you wasn't in Syria to deal with ISIS to begin with. You was in Syria to deal with the conflict, but the civil war between Bashar al-Assad and his so-called civilians over there. Then you armed the so-called Free Syrian Army, the moderate rebels, and then now ISIS came up. Now ISIS ain't a threat no more. You want to pull out, but now Russia's pulling you in with a threat, you know, or the Syrian regime over there. Well, really, it's Israel, because they're the ones starting all this stuff, you know, and things are just being in responses. All right. It says on Sunday, Trump wrote on Twitter that there would be a big price to pay for alleged attacks. Moscow says the accusations against Damascus serve as a baseless provocation. Like, bruh, this fake news ain't no real facts with none of this. You just talking shit so you can come over here, try to push up on Syria and get the rest of the world to just accept what you about to do and be down with it. But we not finna let that happen. All right? Moscow says that the accusations against Damascus serve as baseless provocations. It has warned that any military action taken to respond to the alleged incidents would have dire consequences. All right? So again, like we read in the book of Ezekiel chapter 38, be thou a guard unto them. All right? Russia's being a guard unto them. Like, look, man, if y'all do some shit over here, bro, it's gonna be some trouble, big trouble. You know? It says it has warned that any military action taken to respond to the alleged fake news, well, not alleged fake news, but the alleged attacks or the fake news, all right, the alleged incidents would have dire consequences. Trump used similar language after the alleged chemical attacks carried out in Idlib province last April. He later ordered a Tomahawk missile strike against Syrian air base and homes. The U.S. State Department said in a statement released on Monday that victims in the alleged attack in Douma show symptoms of exposure to a nerve agent. Okay, so let me reread that again. It says the U.S. State Department said in a statement released on Monday, okay, so the U.S. is saying this, that victims of the alleged attacks in Douma showed symptoms of exposure to a nerve agent and called on Syria and Russia to open the area to international monitoring, all right? And so, really, you know, going back, you have to be following all this, because there was a goddamn ceasefire agreement that was going on, and then this is when you move certain things in, move certain things out, and so on and so forth. And really what America's trying to do is cut off Russia from stacking up more shit over there, basically. So they trying to cut all this stuff off, you know, and they coming up with these, oh, there's a chemical attack. Now we got to go over there. We got to quit the ceasefire, and this and that is back hot now, you know. But Russia's like, nah, calm down, you know. Like I pulled out another article. Russia went over there, and Russia and some of these Islamic states was over there investigating, and they found no patients in no hospitals that suffered from chemical attacks. And the grounds where the chemical attack apparently took place, there was no chemical traces found on those grounds, all right? But here it says the U.S. State Department said in a statement released on Monday, victims of alleged attack in Douma show symptoms of exposure to a nerve agent, okay? So they saying that, look, we see these people over here, you know? But it's funny how quick a response this investigation takes, you know? Before that we even get any note that there's an investigation, anything like that, you already hear so-called responses and battle plans being made ready. But when somebody else wants to do an investigation, oh, so-called America already has the investigation done, you know? Saturday, alleged chemical attacks in Douma, eastern Ghouta, comes as pro-government forces conclude an operation that has liberated nearly the entire region from the Islamic militants. The alleged chemical incident was reported by pro-jihadist groups, and it could not be confirmed by Red Crescent medics. That was the name of the group, the Red Crescent medics. All right. On the grounds, following the reports, two Israeli warplanes targeted a Syrian air base and homes on Sunday night, according to the Russian and Lebanese militaries. So, like I said, this is all tit-for-tat response. You know, the least of them is going to draw them out. Israel goes over there and so-called response to a bullshit-ass attack on them, which ain't no real attack. You know, Israel is so-called, they be like, oh, man, these motherfuckers was throwing rocks at us towards our border and rolling tires at us. You know, and then they're like, well, that was pretext for an invasion. We thought they was invading us, you know. So we went over there and we started bombing their ass, you know. It says, actually, that was it for this here article. I thought there was one more part I wanted to read in here. Oh, this is what I wanted to read. So this is what I was talking about, you know, how Trump was speaking of downsizing the military over there, it says Trump boasted last week about withdrawing from Syria meant nothing. All right? So everybody's starting to see this damn devil how he wants to do it. You know, he played with the people's minds and emotions. Yeah, we about to move out of Syria, this, and that. Because they would tell you, no, we're going to stay in Syria for the long haul. We about to go to World War III. We're going to throw these nukes over there. We finna blow up the whole fucking planet and put all you bitches in slavery. If they was to say that, they would not get off the damn podium before everybody was just, you know, do what needed to be done to their ass, you see? But they got to prep you and warm you up like this. Yeah. We're going to pull up out of Syria. We tired of fighting over here, and we're not rebuilding these goddamn Muslim shit over there. We rebuilding our own country, making America great again, bringing our troops back home. We ain't spending no more money over there with this and that, which is rallying up the American people, making them so-called happy, all right? And so when the next move comes, like this so-called chemical attack comes, and we have to respond, okay, so-called have to respond, the people ain't looking at it as like, oh, that's something we wanted to do. We just had to do that, you know? So it says Trump's boasted last week about withdrawing from Syria meant nothing. U.S. always wants to be seen as a reluctant superpower, dragged into conflicts against its will, okay? We didn't want to be there, but we got dragged into this, and we had to put an end to this because we are the only people who can police this. All we want to do is go home and rest our laurels, but the bad guys keep forcing us to intervene everywhere, all right? And Homeboy summed it up perfect of how America gets down and how they want to paint this picture of how they so holy and this and that, you know? The devil has transformed himself into an angel of light, you know? This is why people don't think that this goddamn devil is the damn devil, because he be masquerading himself as somebody so holier than thou. Oh, we're there for humanitarian, this and that, man. But, you know, this is that damn devil. But like I said, you know, it's important to know to learn your enemy and learn how he get down so you don't be caught off guard with what he got going on. Just like this guy in his little post here was talking about. You know, they always want to talk about how they're there to help you out and save you, this and that. But really, they're there to catch you into a snare, you know. So you never trust our enemy, you know. But nevertheless, Lord willing, here article was edifying. And so next time I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught me this truth. And salutation, much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth. Stay strong. Shalom.